Hey everyone, this is Jeremy from BSTsportcards. Just want to give you an update where we're at with the site. I'll try to do one of these a week until we're ready for go live. Should only be a couple more weeks. I think if you've seen some of the other videos, this is the new homepage now. So when you first log into the site, you'll see all the different subscriptions, the different sports that you can buy and sell. So for example, I'm just going to log in as a generic seller here. Takes you to the dashboard here where you'll have the selling is obviously anyone that has a membership to sell. So if you go to sell an item now, it'll take you to this item page where you can put in, your title, category, item type, whether it's memorabilia, box break, any of the three sports we have right now. We are going to venture into other sports in another time, but right now we're trying to keep it consolidated and make sure we get everything right the first time before we sort of branch out into other sports and into trading and high-end escrow services and things of that nature. Put in your team, your player. Right now we only have, the 2020 teams, right? So if you have a card that's, for example, an Expos card, it's now, right, Nationals. So you would just put in Nationals here, and then maybe specify in the description if you need to. We might add a other team down here for, capturing all those Milwaukee Braves, all the older teams, right? That have turned into something else. You can put the manufacturer, obviously, we put the big ones here, and then you can put other, whether it's graded or reprint. Add your photos, your format. It can be auction or fixed price. Fixed price you can have an allow offer or not, and then our durations are 5 days, 7 days, and 10 days. You can select your shipping service, and then you put in your shipping cost here. Now, obviously, if we don't regulate this to where it's within a certain amount, but if you put $20 in the shipping cost, you're definitely going to have to justify why your shipping is that high in your description, because obviously it's going to ward buyers away, right? The higher your shipping costs. So, for example, if you are sending, right, priority mail with insurance and you have signature required, right, those upcharges are going to bring your shipping costs up. So you can pass that on, but as long as you open that communication and you let the buyer know what they're paying for in that shipping, everything should be okay. You could also offer free shipping. You just click yes, gets rid of everything like that. The biggest thing I want to show is we have updated the item page, so I can see there is in the columns there is 8 columns of items now. Multiple rows within this. I believe we're going to do 4 rows. So 32 items per page. As you can see, you can just scroll and look through. If you highlight over one of them, you can go into the details of the item, or you can favorite right there on the item page. So for example, if I want to go and look at, this 2020 Top Series 2 Luis Rubber Gold, you can click into it. It's going to show the current bid. It's already been sold. It'll show the price, what the shipping was. You can look at the bids, the seller reviews here. You can report the auction if you feel it goes against our terms of use. So yeah, this is the item page. Hope you guys like it. I'm not sure if it's too much that when you highlight it, it sort of goes blue, but I feel like it keeps you on good track to know where you're at and where you're looking, what you're looking for. You can, search here, default different things by the date, price, things of that nature and stuff like that. So if you're looking for a specific card, you can search for it there. There's also a search in the main header that follows you around too if you just want to search for something. One of the biggest things that I want people to realize, let me log out here, is that if I go to log in and say you're new and you create an account, it's going to ask you to put in all these things, right? So this is what you want this to be, is your shipping address. That's how we are going to handle taxes as well. That's a major piece of this that's very technical and very complex in nature. The Supreme Court ruled that in a Wayfair versus South Dakota case, that someone of our nature and what we're doing with this marketplace, we are considered a marketplace facilitator. And what that just means is we have to collect the sales taxes where applicable for our sellers and our members, right? So we are going to collect those. We are going to report those after we hit a certain, what they consider a nexus. So for example, I don't know if this is true offhand because there's a lot of states with different laws, but in, say, New Mexico, I believe they have, a lot of them are going to be as soon as you sell $100,000 in that state, or you have 200 transactions, you have to report that to the state, those taxes to the state. So, for example, if we have a buyer and a seller that are going through and we have enough to where there's 200 transactions with someone from New Mexico, or sales have gotten over $100,000, we would have to report that. So we want to do things the right way. We don't want to make Uncle Sam mad. So we are going to follow those laws, and we are a marketplace facilitator, the same way how eBay had to do it and how Etsy and all those things have to do it now. They are considered marketplace facilitators. Amazon, FBA, all those taxes have to be collected, reported on, and we have to actually file as well for the states that we hit those nexus in. So for that reason, right, when you fill this out, when you put your address, city, and state, make this your shipping address. That's how we are going to, it's not going to be off of billing or anything like that. It's going to be off of your shipping address. So whatever your shipping address is, that is where your tax is going to be calculated from, right? So Indiana at 7%. If I fill this out and I put the state as Indiana, everything is going to have, the 7% when you go to sell and stuff like that. So, right, you go to sell it, the buyer's going to have to pay that 7% tax. And then it's going to be collected by us, BSTsportcards, as a marketplace facilitator. The sellers don't have to worry about anything. Buyers don't have to worry about anything. Also, the biggest thing is when you create this, one last thing, when you create this, you are agreeing to our terms of use and privacy policy, right? So definitely look at this before you create an account, obviously, because we want you to be familiar with what this means, what these terms mean, right? When you sign up for something, a lot of people don't read these. We want to keep them as clear as possible. Goes over who we are, what you can do when using this, how we enforce it, listing conditions when you list something, right? Your purchase conditions when you buy something, rules and policies for buyers, rules and policies for sellers, feedback policies, and actually the big one is our return policies. So as you can see on our return policies, we have 3 major rules. Buyers can initiate a return via items 1 for the following reasons. It wasn't received. The item you bought was not received. The item received was different than what was listed, or the item was damaged. Everything sold within our marketplace has to have tracking. There is no plain white envelope shipping or anything like that. We feel that's the best way to protect everyone, in this industry and buyers and sellers on our platform. So when a return is submitted, it goes through a review process. So we get a notification, we look at all the findings within it, and then we make a decision on within 48 hours if, that return is going to be approved. Now, returns, because the marketplace for sports card is so volatile right now, and we've all learned with that, that Topps Project 2020 stuff, prices can just tank in a week, or they can skyrocket in a week, right? That's just the name of the game when it comes to sports cards and memorabilia nowadays. It's so up and down more than it's ever been. So, right, for example, today's the 27th. If you were to tell me to invest in Bull, a month ago, I would have been like, I'm going to pass on Bull. All of a sudden, he has an awesome game, and those cards jump like crazy and everything like that. So, for that reason, returns are not going to be allowed after 5 days of tracking being shown delivered. So if a seller ships you something and the buyer receives it and it is marked as delivered, That starts the timer 5 days from there. So if they receive it, it's not a exact time, right? It's not going to be like if I receive something at 6, I have until 6, right? 5 days later, it's going to be if I, get it on Monday, right? It shows deliver on Monday. I have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, right? We just do it that. You have to the end of day Saturday to initiate the return. After that, you are not allowed to return because of the market being so volatile. We don't want people to return cards because they bought something to flip and it went down in value right before they're about to flip it, and now they want to return it, right? That's not how we want to run the marketplace. We don't want that happening. It's happening a ton on eBay. It's happening a ton everywhere else. We don't want that. We want to make this a great place for buyers and sellers to do everything and to have that all. That's why, you can't, as a seller, you cannot cancel an order after it is sold. You have, listed that item. Make sure you know the market prices. If you're a seller, we have a comp tool built in for you to use. You can check other, different things that you can check comp sites on if you want to, just get a feel of it and stuff like that. But no canceling on buyers, because once you submit that item, you are selling that item for that price and that auction price. If you want to, make sure you get a certain price for it, put it as a fixed price or best offer, and go that way. So if you put it for auction, you're putting it for auction, right? Whatever bids you get, that's what it's going to sell for. It's sort of that, free marketplace, supply and demand, basic economics, right? So if you don't want to take that risk, sometimes it pays off, sometimes it doesn't, go to a fixed price. So that's all I wanted to show you guys today. So again, if you can always reach me at jeremy@BSTsportcards.com if you have any questions. I'll get back to you, or you can send any questions to questions@BSTsportcards.com. Hopefully this has been useful. As you can see, we are super close. I've gone through, I'm doing final testing. The two major pieces that we're putting into place now are the taxes, like I talked about, for the marketplace facilitator. Returns are the other big thing. We are using Stripe on the back end, so obviously all your payments are handled through Stripe and stuff like that, so returns and everything will go through Stripe. We don't keep any of your financial information in our system or anything like that. It is all in Stripe, which is PCI compliant, so no worries there. But all right, well, thank you guys for listening, and we hope to see you when we go live in the next couple weeks. Thanks.